Hey, lovely people of YouTube. Today we're talking about threesomes. If you're thinking about doing a threesome, stay tuned for this video. All right, we're talking about probably the most common fantasy every single person has, especially men. All of men have the fantasy of doing a threesome sometime in their life. So it's a very good fantasy. It's actually a lot of fun to do, but it's also a tricky fantasy to do, and it has some risks attached to it. So today I wanted to show you how to do a threesome as a couple. I'm going to give you some tips and some risks that you're going to face if you try to do this fantasy with your couple in a long-term relationship. First, let me start by saying that if you have the chance to do this without your couple first, like doing it with people that you know, if you're a guy, maybe do it with two girls that you know, or there's two types of threesomes you can have. One is the man female or female man. If you are not in a relationship and want to do this fantasy, I recommend to do it without any feelings, any emotional attachment first, because it's a lot easier. I have to say it's a lot easier in terms of emotion. I also have to say that it's also a very big fantasy many couples have, and some men or some women, they would like to see their partner with other people, and it's a fantasy that exists. The thing is that you don't know what you will feel like until you do it, and that's the biggest problem with this fantasy. You say, hey, I would like to do it, I'm very sure I want to do it, but when it comes to the point of doing it, you might not feel so well, and that's the risk of this type of fantasy. So if you have the chance to do it before you are in a long-term relationship and know what you're going to feel like, even if you have no attachment, you're going to see how it looks like, and you will have some experience, and it's a better way to start. All right, I just wanted to point that out. So as I said before, there's two types of threesomes you can have: male female, female male. We're talking about this type of threesomes, all female, all male. That's it's not the issue here in this video. So you have to know which one you want to do, and if you're a man watching this and your woman wants to do it with another man, and you want to do it with a female, you have to accept it. Okay, it doesn't go just one way. It has to go two ways. So it's up to you as a couple. You have to discuss this, but I know for men, in general, from my personal experience with men that I've talked to, they're very keen on doing it with another girl, but if another guy comes in, they're not so happy with that. So, but if your wife wants to do it and you want to do it, you have to accept the terms and negotiate these type of fantasies. So let's talk about risks. Risks there's a lot of risk involved in doing this type of activity, all right? And I don't want to push you off, but really, if you play with fire, you can get burned. And if you try to do threesomes and bring another person into your sexual life, it has some risk attached to it, all right? When you do a threesome, things like jealousy, self-consciousness, anger may occur, and it's, you don't know it until you do it, all right? Because you might have it very clear, but you don't know how it's going to happen or how it's going to feel like until you do it. So you need to know that those risks are involved. Second thing that you need to know is that both have to be completely agreed on doing it. It's not a one person thing. Both have to want to do it, because if the other person is doing just because he wants to do it or she wants to do it, that person that doesn't want to do it might feel a bit uncomfortable, and might hurt her feelings or his feelings. So really, you both need to agree on doing it. If not, don't do it. Fantasies can be just fantasies, and you might think about it, might imagine them, and you don't have to do them. But if you're going to do it, both have to be willing to do it. All right? From my experience, people I have talked to, normally it works better in couples that have been in a long-term relationship. They've been together for a long time, because there's a lot more intimacy, there's a lot more complicity, a lot more trust. If the couple is too young, there's more hormones going in, there's more jealousy maybe coming up, and more rivalry. It's better. Normally, it's better if you're in a long-term relationship where both are more stable, and they know the love they feel for the other person. It's much more, let's say, it's very, very strong, all right? It's a lot stronger maybe than if you're just starting, okay? If you're starting a relationship, I would not recommend to do it at the beginning. Unless you've done it before and you know it very clear, it's okay. I'm talking in general, all right? One other thing, it's very important that both are open to sex. They're open in sex, I mean, that they're open to try new things. They've already had some previous experience in other things. I'm not saying threesomes maybe, but anything that, you know, they've tried almost everything in sex, and they're open and willing to do new things, and it's something that drives them, okay? It's very important because that means that, you know, nothing is gonna really shock them, all right? You have to be very strong. There's another person coming in, and if you're a man and a man comes in, you're gonna start comparing. You're gonna start maybe saying, hey, you know, maybe I'm not as good as he, or maybe she likes it more than me, or these things can happen. And you know, penis size maybe, or something like that. With woman is the opposite. They maybe boob size, she has a better butt than me. I don't know. You need to be very strong. You need to accept that the person that comes is just a person, and that's it. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but you need to be ready to not compare yourself with the other person, all right? That's very, very important as well. You need to have very clear that the person that's with you, it's with you because she or he loves you very much, and it's not everything about sex, and it's not about that the guy or the girl that's coming in is better looking than me. It's a much deeper thing, all right? You have to have that very, very clear before you do this, all right? So some tips I'm going to give you to do a threesome, all right? First is choosing the place where to do it. Very important here, because in my opinion, it's very important. I always would choose somewhere outside my home, not in my house. I'll do it in a hotel. I'll do it, I don't know, someone else's house. I'll do it wherever you want, but not in your home, because it's like bringing something in your home that you don't know how it's going to feel like. You don't know what's the outcome of this, and it's better not to put that in your home. It's better to have it away, and the memory is better to be away. Once you know what you feel, once you've had some experience, maybe you can bring someone home. But at the beginning, don't bring someone home. Do it outside. My personal tip. So the second thing, choosing the person to do it. My recommendation is try to choose someone about your age. It's better because then it's ideal, because first the experience is going to be similar, and the comparison, again, what I was talking before, if the guy is the same age as the guy, or the girl is the same age as the girl, the comparisons are going to be they're not going to be so strong, all right? If you bring a very young girl and you're a couple in the 40 something, you know, the girl might feel uncomfortable because this girl is beautiful and she has perfect body, and she's going to compare. And the same thing with guys. You know, if you bring a stud in for a threesome, the comparison can occur. So I recommend at least the first time, all right? I'm not saying that every couple is the same. I'm talking to guys that maybe have no experience, all right? If you have experience, you can do whatever you want. But in terms of doing it the first time, try to do that way. A person that's about your similar age, maybe similar, you know, physique and whatever, all right? One thing you have to be very, very clear is that third person, I was talking about it before, that third person that comes in, it's just a person that comes in. There's no love, no attachment, there's nothing here, all right? Actually, you could see him as a sex toy, okay? I'm not saying he's a person or she's a person, but you're the couple and you're enjoying this fantasy with someone that comes in, but it's like, I'm going to use this guy to fulfill my fantasy. So you have to have that in mind, because if you're a guy and maybe there's another guy coming in, and you might feel like your woman is enjoying it better than with you, and you have to have very clear that person that it's there is just a tool to fulfill your fantasy. You have that, you know, the mind is very important when you do a threesome, and that you understand that person has to know that too. That person is not the star in this situation. The star is the couple that wants to do this fantasy. That person is coming in as an outsider, as someone that's gonna maybe fulfill one of his fantasies, but he's not the star. The star is the couple, all right? That's very, very important to know, and that he knows it or she knows it, and the couple knows it, all right? Okay, I'm assuming you've talked about this very much. If you're deciding to do this, you've talked before. Okay, but before you start, maybe agree on some signs. Maybe as one of the two are not feeling so well once you start, because you don't know how you're going to feel until you start. I said that before, but it's very important. You don't know how you're going to feel until you start. Talk about maybe you don't want the other person kissing the other person. That's something that happens. Maybe say, hey, it's just sex. I don't want you kissing her or kissing him or whatever. Agree on that and don't kiss. Agree on the signs. Maybe if I'm not feeling well, hey, if I do this sign, I want to stop. All right. These things you should agree on before, and what's okay and what's not okay. I mean, maybe she says, hey, no anal sex, no whatever. You have to agree on the things you want to do before you start. Then you have to flow, okay, because you have to enjoy it. I mean, and you have to flow with the things. I actually, threesomes should be very soft, very I don't know. They should flow very easily and see where they go. But there's some things, maybe some limits you want to put before you start. Okay, very very important. All right. Actually, to be honest, I would always try to do a soft version before I do a real thing. For example, maybe hey, say let's do a threesome where the other person comes in, but there's no actually penetration, there's no sex. All right, it's only touching, caressing, maybe I don't know, hand jobs or only touching with the hand. I don't know, whatever. Maybe do a soft version. It could be a possibility to know how you feel before actually you go all the way. All right. That's something that I highly recommend to do if you're not very sure. All right. Do a soft version before and then see what happens when you do the real thing. All right. Finally, of course, this is a tip, safety, hygiene. Maybe I would recommend to maybe ask for an HIV test before you start. Of course, use condoms everywhere all the time. So you do it safely, all right? Very, very important for both of you and for him and whatever. Don't miss, don't mess up anything just because you forgot or I'm horny, I want to do it, and always hygiene, very important, and your health is very, very important. So that's my tips for threesomes. How to do it the first time. It's not easy. It's a great fantasy. Enjoy it very much because it's a fantastic thing to share with your partner. If you both are willing to experience this experience, I recommend it very, very much, and it's one of the best fantasies you can do. So try it out. Thank you for watching this video. Again, if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel right here. There's a button. I'll leave you my blog right here. Don't miss it out. There's gifts for you, free gifts for you, more sex tips. Everything you need to know about sex is right there. So don't forget to hit on the link right down here below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.